They still, to this day, don't believe me. Even my friends don't mention anything paranormal around me. I've become so obsessed with it. I've become called confused, a liar, but every time I tell somebody about it, I forget it more and more, and I don't know why. Maybe it was all because I was only 8. I don't trust Disney anymore. It was Saturday afternoon. My mom just got back from a flea market and picked up a copy of the old Disney movie, Peter Pan. She was supposedly shopping for groceries, but she probably got distracted. This was one of the only times we all had time to sit around and watch a movie together. My mom's always out shopping. I don't know what my dad's doing most of the time. My brother Trevor was there too, but he's always on his phone, Facebooking and doing some other crap. I was the only one excited to watch this movie. So we all sat down in the living room. I put the movie in the VCR. The screen was a little fuzzy, but then the previews started rolling. It was just some old Disney movie previews, but then something a little particular happened. On the title screen, it had the roof of the house, like in the original movie. But Wendy, John, and Peter and the dog were sleeping on the roof in the air. Ignoring it, we played the movie. It wasn't the same as it would have been, until it came to the part where Peter's shadow came into the room. When it landed on the door of the room, Wendy looked at it as if she does in the movie. Then the camera started to pan out to the sky. Then the most terrifying thing happened as it panned out. You could hear Wendy's blood-curdling scream. My dad, panicking, went to the VCR and took out the tape as soon as it went wrong. He told us that it was just glitching and then told us to go to bed. Trevor and I were scared shitless. Slowly went to bed and I slept on the bottom bunk and while he slept on the top. We both stayed up all night, too paranoid to go to sleep. But about 3 hours after we lay down, Trevor was too tired to stay up. But I could not go to sleep, being only 8. I started to play and sing my favorite song, Day in the Life by the Beatles, to help me fall asleep. Soon enough, I did that. My dreams were filled with the horrific screams of Wendy and what Peter's shadow might have done to her. Morning came fast, and my mom and dad told Trevor and I to try and not tell anybody about the movie. As hard as it was, we didn't. We were on our way home when we both thought we were being followed. We just ignored it because we thought it was just the paranoia. We had a pretty normal afternoon. After our dinner, we then both head to bed, not being paranoid or scared as we were yesterday. We were able to get some sleep, but then I woke up around 12:30 a.m. I heard something. It jingled and I was fairly quiet. The lamp on the nightstand was knocked over. I was too scared to do anything about it, so I slumped in my covers and closed my eyes. After about 30 minutes, I looked up at the underside of the bunk to see Peter's shadow right there, watching me. I ran my bed as fast as I could to my parents' bedroom, them reassuring and telling me it was just a bad dream. I still refused to sleep in my room, of course. I ended up sleeping in their room for the night. Sleeping with my parents, I always had a great night's sleep. But when I woke up, the most disturbing thing has happened to me. I was sleeping in the middle of the desert, alone with the shadow, terrified. I ran away from it, only to find 75-foot drop. The shadow was hacking into my brain. Possessed, I hopped off of my bed to try to figure out what was all a dream, because it felt so real. There was no way it could have been a dream that night. I slept in my room with my brother again. After going through some counseling the following day, I had never been so unafraid of anything my whole life. I tried waiting for the shadow to appear on the underside of my bed so I can confront it, but I got too tired and fell asleep. Waking up in the middle of the night for some reason I did the night before, I looked to see the shadow watching me. Then I reached out for me where the knife of the shadow would be. I got the migraine and stopped. I looked at the head and the shadow stared, then becoming conscious, and I crawled into a ball under my covers. I started singing Day in the Life to calm me down, to forget everything that I had to do with this nightmare. Then I noticed that I wasn't the one singing it. Trevor started screaming as I ran out of my bunk and turned on the light. Trevor's crying. I looked at the underside of the top bunk. and a red piece of paper crumbled up in a ball. I opened it. 13.5/6. It's what it said in curly letters. I didn't know if this was what this monster wanted, but it got it because Trevor was never able to speak again.